Good morning. Morning, no? Okay, right. So, good morning to all. Good morning. So, I hope all of you can hear. Right. Now, there was a kind of a request at the beginning now. For certain students who are doing exams today itself, I was told. So, the clarification is that now today we are going to have a small midterm exam for 30 minutes. 15 questions, written exam. That's all. MCQ so on. Right. So we are going to have that from 11:15 to 11:45. 30 minutes. Right. 11:15 to 11:45, and after that we are going to finish and we are going to go home. That's what's going to happen, right? So then there were two things that were highlighted. One, about the medical exams. Some students are writing medical exams today because they had some issues maybe in their last examinations due to medical reasons, and they are giving it today. So the understanding is that you have to show me and you have to submit a letter with the admission saying that you have an exam exactly at that time, 11:15 to 11:45. Then you are exempted. But if you have the exam in some other time, I cannot allow you. Right? This is also an exam. Okay. So therefore, the thing is that the exam time has to be crossing this time. That's number one. I think it's because we have to be having all. If they have the exam exactly on this time, then we are able to do that, of course. But on the other hand, if they have the exam in the evening, then better to write this and do that exam in the evening. Right? So that's the understanding. Then online. Now, online, I told online. Now, understand is some students are allowed to do and take part online. They are allowed to do that. From the beginning, not now. From the beginning, students are allowed to do online. In the application itself, it says online. Now I got a clarification from the management because this issue came out. So that's what I meant by online. Part of online is everything. Anyone can come online. There are students who are allowed to come online. Only for those students, now I'll get the list from the management because who are allowed to come online. So that's being specified at the beginning of this semester. Semester application online, offline, physical, hybrid, online, whether it's online or whether it's this kind, right? So if you are allowed to take part in lectures online, then I can allow you to. That will be, I'm going to have different assessment because I cannot give you itself. It's an MCQ test, education test online for an assessment, but only for the students who are for the beginning of the semester, right? And if some students are coming online without, I cannot allow them. I cannot allow them. Not good, yeah. Hello. Oh. No, I didn't. Like this, right? Not good. Right. Okay. So let's again reiterate regarding the online attendance today and for the exam. Only allowed students from the beginning of the semester will be allowed to do the midterm online. Right? That is going to be a discussion. Then I'll decide what to do based on the availability, and so we see how we are going to manage that. But only for the students who are given the chance to join online for the beginning of the semester. That's what I meant by online. Online. Okay. So that is the determination of the management, and even the management told that some students are joining using some dates that are placed in the LMS, and that even the attendance is not taken for those students if they are not allowed to attend online. When the system can okay. So therefore, if you are not allowed to attend online, then you are not given the chance to do any online assessment. Right? I think that's very clear. And there we go. You know what I mean? Right. Okay. However, the exam will be held The midterm exam will be held physically from 11:15 to 11:45 at SRM premises. And for the students who are allowed to join online lectures, we'll have a different assessment. They get a film assessment at Gamma. Because I cannot use that paper because that paper is an MCQ test. They cannot be put online. I know what's going to happen. Exactly. GPT can matter. Anyway, without that GPT usage, skyrocketing. So I thought that really. So therefore, we have a separate assessment for those guys, right? Who are allowed to join lectures online from the beginning of the semester. The application itself is being mentioned. Whether you can join online or only for those students, I'm going to get a list. I'm going to get a clarification from the management and have an assessment also there. Not to confuse. Thank you very much for highlighting. So she brought that into the attention. Now you can also put that into the because I got the clarification is there. So this medical, then exactly if it is crossing that time, could be allowed. If it is not crossing that time, cannot be allowed. That's very clear. Second one, online, only students who are allowed to join online. From the beginning of the semester in the application itself, will be given the chance to do an automation on the equation side. Have a discussion with this. One, and assess their ability to answer questions and then based on that to draw a marks. Because unless otherwise I am unable to do that. To do that, the online person should open the camera, the camera should be on and also post the microphone should be on. One-to-one, I'm going to have a discussion with those people separately. That can take place anytime, so be ready to anytime have that. Maybe it's going to be at the break, we are going to have a break. And at the break, maybe the online, allowed online students will get the chance to have the chat, right, with me. Hope it's clear. Because we have to be fair, we have to follow the procedures, rules, regulations, procedures, not emotions. We have to keep the emotions away and follow the rules, regulations, procedures. That's all. And always to do things in a methodical, systematic way. In that case, there is no misunderstandings. There won't be any issues. So it will be a nice place to live. Always follow the rules, regulations, and things like that. Right. Okay. So with that, we were discussing what? Now let's come into today's discussion. What did we discuss? We were discussing what? We discussing what? No. What we were discussing? Correlation. No. Regression. Very good. Regression again. Yeah, example. We are discussing the example. I told you that there are two types of examples. What are the two types of assumptions? What is the assumptions one may take up here? What are the two types of assumptions? What are the two types? Look them. Okay, so I thought that there are tricky assumptions and straightforward assumptions. Tricky assumptions and straightforward assumptions. Right. And then we started, first we discussed some straightforward assumptions, and then we navigated the what? Tricky assumptions. And I told you, how many tricky assumptions are there? How many tricky assumptions are there? There are 20. 20. How many tricky assumptions are there? Look at the notes. Look at the notes. I will give you a tutorial a complete word file into Srilanka. There are 6 tricky assumptions. There are how many tricky assumptions? There are 6 tricky assumptions. 6 tricky assumptions. And I think we discussed 2 tricky assumptions. Because discussed 3. 2. Right. Let me remind you what we discussed the 2 tricky assumptions. And we shall move ahead with our discussion. So let's go to LMS. Online students, I think you can hear me, and I think you heard what I told regarding the determination. Okay. So be ready at any time to have that discussion. If you are allowed to take part in it from the beginning of the semester. Okay. Okay, so this is the LMS. So we discussed about descriptive statistics. Then we discussed about correlation analysis. So we are in regression assumptions. So here you can see it's OLS regression assumptions. So this is the word file that we were using. Try to see what are the tricky assumptions. So shall we download this file? We already downloaded this. And then also we download this file. And then we are using the data session for survey for ET file as the data file. So why not we download this data session for data or distribution assumptions taking its data? The word file is so this word file is week 6. In week 6, the word file is there. Distribution assumption. So I'm going to download that. It's already free, so to go to that location. So this is the file that you are using. All of you can see, right? So we checking the regression assumptions. First, what we did was we loaded the data file. So please do that if you have not already done. So how can you load it? Now this is Word file. So download this data session for service for ET file. Download that file, the data file DB, and open that file. Open the download file. And that's where we are going to perform a regression analysis. And we are trying to check whether the regression assumptions are okay or not. So if you open the file, please open the file. And if you don't have a computer, please sit with the person who is having a computer. Right? So you can share. Please sit with the person who is having a computer. You can shift your seats if you want. Computer theoretically pick a one. So make sure that you are sitting with the person who is having a computer. Right? So as we usually do. You know the meeting. What they got called. What method again? It is what? Very right. All visual. People are high. There is a phone. I take a proportion. With the other, it's good. That's very nice. Yeah, make sure that you study, you apply. Right? Students, it's like this. It's up to you to study. As a lecturer, as the lecturer, what we can show you is we can show you the path. Whether you are going to take that path or not, it's your job. What is the computer can in the way? What a computer is in the way, but a partner slow in the way. They go on a that is not here. There, what a visible. Now, I think you know, in certain places, graduates, not that certificate of how that they can go to Sagina, graduates are in Port railway station. There are certain graduates who, once at a time, they go to the port railway station, and in front of that, what they do? What they say, what? Port airline. Certificate over there, but someone that really, certificate over the ඒක තිබුණු දවසට මම හිතන්නේ පොළවේ වහින්න පටන් ගනි සර්ටිෆිකේට් ඒව ආදාත් වෙන තත්ත්වයක් නේ බට් ඔන්න සම්මාන දැන්න දෙන කන්ටි ඔන්න ඉන්න පොඩ් ගන්න ගිහින් ආර්ට්ස් ඒව කරලා එක එක දේවල් කරලා ඉන්න කන්ටි ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉන්නේ මොකද ඒ ග්‍රැජුවේට්ස් පොඩ් එක අල්ලගෙන මොකද රැකියා දිනවා ආණ්ඩුවට පළ කරනවා අපිට රැකියා දිනවා certificate කවුරුවත් දෙන්නේ ඒව හිතුව දවසට පොළොවේ වහින සත්‍යයක් එයි ප්‍රශ්නාහිරි right ඉන්ෆයින සත්‍යයක් එයි right ඒ වගේ සත්‍යයක් එනවා certificate කවුරුවත් දෙන්නේ ඒව ලොඩක් ඉන්නේ certificate කියන්නේ that is a place where you will definitely you will be able to secure an excellent job right දැන් අද මොකද කරන්නේ බෝඩ් එක අල්ලගෙන කියනවා මේ වෙන තැන්වල ඉගෙන කට්ටිය ඉස්සෝ රැකියා කියන්නේ කාටද මේ බලන්නේ to whom they are demand to the government. My question is the government responsible to give jobs to graduates? Not at all. Government is not there to give jobs. ඉස්සරහට තව දෙයක් තියෙනවා නේද ඒ බෝඩ් එක ඊළඟ බෝඩ් එකේ අපිට ගෑන් දියව පණි අපිට මිනිහා දියව පණි ඒකත් රජ්‍ය වැඩ ඒක රජ්‍ය වැඩ නෙවෙයි right so these two people should understand first to do a degree that's relevant like figure out like accounting right and they have to get good jobs the game මොකද කරන්නේ එළියට යන කලින් ජොබ් එකට ආන්න that's what I say. Right? Particularly if you are doing an accounting degree, finance degree, you know, in that's what I see. Very demanding for jobs. So that's why we have to, first of all, we have to understand what's required by the market. Whether we like it or not, we have to see the market requirement. And based on that, we have to upskill ourselves. Because irrelevant degrees, irrelevant things, it's a waste. Therefore, we have to always think to see what to do something relevant. And then create value in ourselves and deliver that. Now, how that is important for you is, again, it's up to you to study. It is as lecturers, anytime please come. As lecturers, what we can do is we can show you the path. That will show you the path. But we cannot make you study. How will you do it? What will you do it? Then, how do you go back in? I don't know. It's up to you to study. Up to you to sit with the person who is studying the topic. Up to you to go through. And what we can do is, we can have some mechanisms that make you study. And today is one of that. That's the midterm. Why I thought of even a midterm, of course not a midterm, that's a classroom assessment. We define it as a classroom assessment. We have several classroom assessments. Not only this, but several others. Why we are doing that? Why we have classroom assessments and other things? To make you study. That's in fact an internal control. If not, what will happen is, you will wait till the end. You wait till the end. And there's no time, you might not have studied anything, and you fail. So this is an internal control that's placed to protect you. Sometimes we have to protect ourselves from ourselves. Right? Let me repeat that. Sometimes We have to protect ourselves from ourselves. Do you agree? Now see drug addicts. Once they are addicted, they cannot overcome that by themselves. So they have to protect them. We have to protect them from themselves. Right? So students also sometimes they get addicted to different things, like particularly phones. They get addicted to Facebook. They get addicted, and some other vices they get addicted. Humans are addicted, including myself. We are all humans. So we have to protect ourselves from ourselves. For that, we need internal control. As a chartered accountant, as a professor in accounting, I 100% believe in systems. I don't believe in people. I believe in systems, internal controls. It doesn't mean that I distrust people and think all these people are bad. No. People are extremely good, but systems are better. Systems can be relied on. Systems also might fail, but again, systems could be relied on. For example, best case example would be Dr. Lanka. You know what happened to him. He was in prison and he was accused of different things, and he died. Fine. Died like a prison. Very unfortunate situation. Dr. Lanka, great business person. Is he a bad person? He's a fraudster. Is he a fraudster? Is he a terrorist? I don't think so. He was a nice gentleman. But when I analyzed his life and his business life, I saw he made a great error. You know what's that? The great error of Dr. Lalit Kothala, once a great business person, the Srilanka group is his group. Srilanka Bank and Srilanka Life, everything is creations. But finally, he was arrested and he was there for a long time. Even his wife is not there. Cecilia Kundala, she's abroad, she went away. He's also under arrest, but she went away. A great family went to disaster. These are good lessons for us. What went wrong with him? Is he a by nature of fraudster? No, he's not a fraudster according to my humble opinion. I don't know legal opinions, but according to my opinion, he's not a fraudster. Then what went wrong with him? He believed in people, not in systems. That's what went wrong. He trusted certain people who gave him the hit. That's what went wrong, as I could understand. He believed he trusted people too much. They swindled money, and finally, he became responsible because he's the leader. Had he had trusted on systems than people, still he would have a great businessman and a very nice person as well. That's my humble opinion. What I say is always trust in systems, not in humans. Humans are weak. Humans take sometimes decisions. I'm a human too, of course. I'm telling to myself as well. We make mistakes. We are weak. We get sick. We under pressure, we might take some not so good choices. But if there are systems, it will protect us from this. So likewise, I'm implementing systems to protect you from yourself. Why? So you study. Today's exam is also, today's assessment is also one of that. It's a system. So at least you would have gone through the notes up to today. So that was implemented for that. If not on Japanese, you will wait till the semester and try to do that, and then that's too late. Right? So as a lecturer, it's my responsibility to implement systems. So you study. Right? Not to, I don't get any pleasure out of this, I have to waste a lot of time to create these things and implement these things, but I don't consider it as a waste. I think as a system to protect you from yourself. Right? Because not all good think and do act according to what's expected. Right. Let's come back. So 6 assumptions. That's what we are discussing. So now what you can do is please open this file, survey for ED file, and see whether the things are there. So once you open a file, what you should do? File I open, move the graph. What you do? View the contents. So how to view the contents? Use what command? Browse. Yes, sir. Use the browse command. So use the browse command and see whether the file contents are there. Browse. Yes, it's there. So no problem. Right. After that, so go back to the word file, and that's what we did. Then you can run a regression analysis. So before you check the assumptions, you have to run it. Then you can see whether the assumptions are met or not. But of course, the assumptions need to meet to run a decent, proper regression analysis. Right? So how to run a regression analysis? So you can see here, I have given the example. The dependent variable is total life satisfaction, which is T life satisfaction. That's the dependent variable. Then how many independent variables are there? It's written on. Independent variables get here. Okay, here. How many independent variables are there? How many independent variables are there? Here they are the independent variables. Here they are students. How many others? There are 2 independent variables. What are they? Age and total perceived stress. Age and total perceived stress. So one dependent variable indeed, total life satisfaction, and then you have 2 independent variables, age and stress. So if I ask to draw this using an equation, how can you draw that equation? Total life satisfaction equals what? Alpha plus with beta 1 age plus beta 2 stress. This is the regression equation. And if you want, you can have an error term as well. This is the regression equation. The dependent variable is stress, total perceived stress. Sorry, total life satisfaction, that's the dependent variable. Then the intercept is alpha, and then you have 2 dependent variables. Total life satisfaction is the dependent variable. So what we say, total life satisfaction depends on 2 things. One is age, the other one is stress. Is that clear? Right. Now, how to run the regression analysis? How to run the regression? How the regression analysis? You go to data. Right. So let me magnify as well. So you go to data, and then you go to statistics, linear modes and related, and go to linear regression. Right. Statistic, linear models and related, and go to linear regression. This I don't, I'm just make a repeat telegraph. Please repeat telegraph. Linear regression. Can I click on? Right. Then you will have this particular dialog box. Right. Then you go to the dependent variable. It's the dependent variable is choose. Total and go to the bottom and go a little bit up. You can see there is a variable called T life set. Total life set. T life set. You can type that so T life set. Then the two independent variables are the age and you have the other one is what? Go again to the bottom. And you can see here there's TB stress. Not position. Please choose this. Right. So you are not two independent variables. So you have got those. You selected that. Good. Okay, so you do. Then T life set and age and TB stress and press OK. Then you get the regression analysis. Right. So I told you that day you can check the explanatory part of this model. We'll have that. What's the explanatory part of this? What's the explanatory part? Follow the notes. Look at the notes. The other thing is also. After regression analysis is going to be tested. The vision will be the maybe will be tested. Discrete analysis, correlation analysis, and the very good. So, okay. Yes, very nice. I'm very nice. And also, you have to convert that to a percent. Right? You have to express that as a percentage. Very nice. They are giving that for us. And how we want to no, it's a good thing. Yes, I got the answer. 24.45%. After 0.2445, we express as a percentage 24.45. Right. Then the next one is, can we take the overall value? Overall quantity value. Is the overall model value? The overall model value? Right? Because you can see the probability is less than 0.05. This one is less than 0.05. So it is valid. So we discussed all this. What do you want? Other testing is there somewhere. Right. Today in the classroom assessment, I start picture testing. And take it out picture testing take it out in classroom assessment. Classroom assessment, you know the classroom assessment is alternative scan. The class take it out here. Midterm testing is the one. Take a refund, take it out. Oh, it's like you are taking the bus in bus again. If they teach you theory, I think the bus again was there. Then they teach you the bus again. So therefore, this is not a midterm test. This is a classroom assessment. Definition. Right? When you check the rules and regulations, it's very much the rules and regulations. then you can, there's no heartbreaks, there's no misunderstandings. Everything will be fine. But you have to play the game, play the rules. Right? Okay. So this is now, then now look at whether the two independent variables are secure or not. Secure. Now you have age and stress. Are those secure predictors? You can develop two hypotheses. Age has an impact on life satisfaction. Stress has an impact on life satisfaction. Are those secure predictors? Is a predictor. Say your predictor. Very good. I'm going to ask. Say your predictor. Say your predictor. Look at the P value. I told you, if this P value for the sequence is less than 0.05, that's a prediction. And you can see in this case, age is 0.846, which is way below 0.05. So it's not a predictor. It doesn't have an impact on life satisfaction. Age does not have an impact on life satisfaction. That's the conclusion. You reject the hypothesis. You say the hypothesis is not support. Age is a predictor. Then next one, stress. Is stress a predictor? Is stress a predictor of satisfaction? Yes. You can see here the p value is less than 0.05. Indeed, it is a predictor. And what kind of relationship is there? What kind of impact is there? Positive or negative impact? When stress goes up, what happens to life satisfaction? Look at this here. It's negative. The coefficient is negative. Right? Stress, the coefficient is negative on life satisfaction. So therefore, what you can say is there's a significant negative impact, right, on life satisfaction through stress. So that's what we discussed. Even we develop hypothesis first. Hypothesis develop, we know whether these are significant or not. Right? We explain whether these are significant or not. Right. Now this was basic regression. Now we need to check whether certain assumptions behind this regression is satisfied or not. Now we shall come to them. Regression is going to be this. This is before 2 weeks things that I am explaining here. 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks before I explain this. How to perform a regression analysis and interpret the result. Okay, page I don't see. Majority are clueless. I don't know. Other control taking page, I think what to do? So study. Right. Then now let's go to the tutorial. Now the first assumption was linearity. The first assumption is linearity. What do you mean by linearity? Whether the independent and the dependent variables have linear division. Why we are looking at that? Because we are expecting this is all distribution, right? We are looking at lines, whether they are linear division between A. Now, when you do a regression analysis, now let's draw it separately. You take age and life satisfaction. Or let's say not age and life satisfaction. X and Y. Let's say when you see the relationship, it's looking like this between X and Y. Let's say X is advertising expenditure and Y is sales. So for advertising expenditure for each year, you have indicated sales. Now what has happened? You can see there's a strong linear relation. That's not catching whether there's a strong linear relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. Right? So if there is no strong linear relationship, the assumption of linearity is not there. That's what we are trying to shift. So on the other hand, if the relationship looks like this, dots everywhere, no any kind of pattern, scattered here and there, then we call it there's no significant relationship or no relationship. Seems apparently when looking at the diagram. Linearity is not there. That assumption is not there. That's what you could say. Right. That's what we could say. Right. To do that, to check whether linearity is there with the two independent variables, you have to draw two scatter plot diagrams. We understand. Two scatter plot diagrams. One for age, the other one is for the stress. Draw and see whether there is a linear relationship. Assumption number one, we already checked. I am again repeating. Right? Whether there is a linear relationship here or not. So how to check that? To check that, we go to data and then go to what? You go to what? To draw scatter plot, where do you go? Statistics then. No, you go to that. The two-way scatter. Two-way scatter. And then go with it. You go to create. And you can see here scatter is there. Create here, scatter here. Zero. Then X variable is what? Always the independent variable. Let's take age. Age. Let's take age. And Y variable is the dependent variable is T life set. T total life satisfaction. Go to the bottom, go a little bit up, and you can see T life set is age and T life set. X and the Y variables. Say accept. Right, that's it. And press OK. Now a scatter plot diagram is drawn on the page. You can see here, age is the independent variable. The dependent variable is total life satisfaction, and the dots are scattered. Can you see that? Do you see any pattern? No. I don't see any pattern. So the assumption is not that much met. The linearity between age and total life satisfaction seems not there. The assumption is not met. Isn't it? Assumption එක පේන බවක්ක් නැහැ. I don't see a relationship, I don't see a pattern. Like that. Here I don't see a relationship. Right. So shall we now draw a scatter plot for the next pair? What's the next pair? Stress and life satisfaction. Then I mean stress and life satisfaction negative. Scatter plot. So you are going to close this scatter and then you are going to go back again to what? Again you are going to close scatter plot, you are going to go to graphics. Yes, graphics, do it. And I'm going to again edit. I'm going to create one, I'm going to edit. Because I don't need to create, it's already was created, I'm going to edit. Go to edit. So the second time you are going to do this. For the first time you are going to create. Second time go to edit. This cat is there. Now instead of, now you can see here, T life set is there. Instead of T life set and age, you can leave T life set, yes, dot life satisfaction, the dependent variable, there's no change. Then for age, instead of age, what you say? Your next independent variable. What's your next independent variable? TT stress. TT stress. Short position. Or you can select that from the drop-down list. Now it's TT stress is there. Say accept. And press OK. TB stress, you do that. Now you can see, what? You can see there's a downward slope. If you look carefully, there's a downward slope. When stress goes up, satisfaction goes down. So here you can say the assumption is met. The linearity is there. By looking at the scatter plot diagram, you can see the linearity assumption is there. So here overall, you can say the linearity assumption is partially met. Because for the earlier variable age, it was not there. But for this variable, it's there. So you can say assumption partially met. So please take that. Assumption number one, linearity. Please take that. Assumption number one, linearity. Assumption number one, linearity. While looking at the scatter plot diagram, assumption number one, linearity. Linearity. While looking at the assumption number one, linearity. Linearity. Assumption number one, linearity. Linearity. While looking at it, two scatter plot diagrams. Two scatter plot diagrams that were drawn between age and life satisfaction. That were drawn between age and life satisfaction. Age and life satisfaction. And stress and life satisfaction. 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 Okay. Come on. It could be concluded that the linearity assumption the linear function is partially satisfied. Is partially satisfied. Yeah. Partially satisfied. So please understand partial. Please understand the partial. Partially satisfied. Partially satisfied. Just here you can see much more stronger relationship is there. Right. Then what is second assumption? What is the second assumption? No multi-collinearity. Yeah, man. Number 2. No multi-collinearity. Number 2. No multi-collinearity. Assumption number 2. No multi-collinearity. No multi-collinearity. What is multi-collinearity? Now go to activity. You know what is activity? Yes, so go to ChatGPT and ask what's multi-collinearity in regression analysis. In regression analysis, what's multi-collinearity all of us? You just want to get it. You will ask the Balaki, other mounting up to I will not. There are 50 questions with series. You are going to be given a state output and you have to select. Who will others? Everyone here. Yeah, they agree with this. Yeah, so, anyone have the easy remote? Easy remote is missing again. Formula is not made. Thank you. It's there. Whatever you can, AC remote is there. Okay, let's ask you, what's multipolar? What's that multipolar? What's multipolar? What multipolar mean? I'll tell you what's multipolar. Simply what it means is that there is a high unnecessary correlation between what's multipolar. What are the multipolarity? Right? Now I will teach you. That's a mathematical explanation. I'll give you the simpler explanation. What's multipolar? Multipolar means the independent variables having high unnecessary correlation. The independent. Now you expect the independent and the dependent variable to have correlation. Right? Independent and dependent having a high correlation. You expect the independent variable to have a high correlation with the dependent variable. Independent to dependent. But if the independent variables have high correlation, that's the problem. Independent variables has to be independent from other variables, other independent variables. Independent variables. Now, what are the independent variables here? Age and strength. They have to be independent from each other. They have to be not high correlated. Right? That's what, in case, if there's high correlation between independent and independent variable, that means age and strength, that's called multipolar. Usually, if we do a correlation analysis, and if you see it's above 0.8, then that's a problem. Independent and independent. Here, age and stress. Multipolar means age and stress should not have what? A high correlation. High unnecessary correlation is multipolar. Yeah. Then they are the OPX the project. But again, if you don't understand something in ChatGPT, what you have to do? Explain simply that a baby could understand it, then the problem. And then anyone could understand. Then you explain that. That it is a great learning. But today you are not given ChatGPT to be used at the classroom assessment that we are going to have from 11:50 to 11:45. No phones, no computers, nothing. Only a pencil or a pen. Please take a pen with you. You are going to check that, and if you see that you are using papers, if you are using your phones and other things, at the exam hall, it's examination malpractice. You'll be suspended, sent home. And they are being required. So therefore, be genuine and don't take it phones with you to the exam hall. Right? No papers, nothing. It's only you and a paper. Only you and a pencil. Or let's say not a pencil, take a pen and mark those appropriate. There are 15 MCQs and the state outputs will be given. You have to mark the correct answer that you think that's correct. No calculators are required. Don't take any calculators. No any phones I allowed. No computers, of course I allowed. No any documents I allowed with you. Just go and sit and do it. And you will be taking home your ID card, keep the ID card or whatever other identification with you. And just write your index number. Write the answers. If you finish within before 15 minutes, you can even before 30 minutes, you can leave as well. It will take 15 minutes to do that exam. I have got an additional 15 minutes, so altogether 30 minutes. So that's about the classroom assessment that you have to have. Classroom assessment. It's not a written exam. It's a classroom assessment. Right. Okay. Age and stress. So what multiple is? There is no high correlation between the independent independent. To check this, there are two ways that you can check this. One, you can check that by checking the correlation between these two independent variables. Right? So that's what it's given here. You can see age and stress. So I have given method 1. Method 1 to check multicollinearity. Do what? Do a correlation analysis between the two independent variables. See what are the independent variables? Age and stress. See whether there is a relationship, unnecessarily high relationship with age and stress. Right? Shall we do that? Okay, let's go to the data set. Statistics. Summary tables. We go to navigate the So I have showed the statistics, summaries, and the hours plot. Summaries, tables, and depth. Summary and descriptive statistics. They go to pairwise correlation. Is that clear? Did you locate it? Pairwise correlation. You can do a how to run a correlation. This is the third lesson that I know. Pairwise correlation. Did you locate it? Summary tables and tests, then summary and descriptive statistics, then go to pairwise correlation. That's all. Pairwise correlation. Then now take the two independent variables. What are the two independent variables? Age and TP stress, total perceived stress. Age and stress. Age and stress. And don't forget to take these two. Print number of observations, print the significance level. Don't forget to take these two. Print number of observations for each entry. Print significant levels for each entry. Don't forget to tick these. Right. So put age and stress. These are the two independent variables. We are going to see whether these two independent variables are having unnecessarily high correlation. Correlation can be unnecessarily high. Because these are two independent variables, not independent and dependent. Right. So now you are here. 8 dp stress, and I'm going to press OK. What you see? What's the correlation between these two? It's significant. So there's a real systematic relationship between these two. 8 and stress. Can you see that? 8 and stress are having significant relationship. The second row shows the significant level. It's significant because it's less than 0.05. But what kind of relationship is there? Is there a strong correlation? No. There is 0.126, that's a 0.13 correlation. So it's a weak correlation. A weak correlation. A weak negative correlation. So there's no problem. Because the independent 8 and stress have a weak correlation. There's no issue. Now suppose this value was above 0.8. Minimum value 0.1265, then 0.1265, now here it's 0.1265. Suppose this value was above 0.8, then the problem is there. Then there might be multi-coordinate. The independent variable having high correlation. Now here it's just 0.1265. So there is no issue. So under method 1 you can take down. Here method 1 is this. Method 1 will get the method 1 using correlation analysis. Method 1 using correlation. First of all, have number 2, assumption number 2, no multi-coordinate. First of all, we should have that topic. Assumption number 2, no multi-coordinate. Yeah, you have two methods. Method 1, correlation. Let's say under that, right? Method 1, using correlation. Using correlation. So please take down under that. Method 1, using correlation. Under that, please take down. Since the correlation coefficient between age and stress variables, is around minus 0.13 minus 0.13 minus 0.13 minus 0.13 minus 0.13 comma which is below 0.8, which is below 0.80, which is below 0.80, which is below 0.80, which is below 0.80. It is concluded that there is no multicollinearity. There is no multicollinearity. There is no multicollinearity. There is no multicollinearity. There is no multicollinearity under this method. Under this method. Under this method. Under this method. Full stop. Full stop. So there is no multicollinearity because there is no high correlation between the independent variables, age and stress. Right? So that's method 1. So if you go to method 2, you can see there's another method. You can calculate something called the VIF factors. Variance inflation factor. Method 2 is using variance inflation factors. Method 2 is on variance inflation factor. Variance inflation factor. Method 2 කියලා ලියා ගන්න අර කියන්නේ assumption 2 එක. Under assumption 2 using variance inflation factors. Yeah. Here what it says is you are going to calculate something called VI, variance inflation factor. Here remember this VI factor should be less than 10. The VI factor is the high order with the low. So I will note here. This VI factor should be less than 10. To say that there is no multi-volume. This method 2. Method 2, you are going to compute VI factor. Right? Shall we see how to calculate VI factor? Let's see how to calculate VI factor. Right? Here I have given you the way statistics, linear models related, regression diagnostics, specification test, and various inflation factors. So it's quite long, and so let's see how to reach this particular mark. Right? So let's see how to implement method 2. So what you can do is you can go to statistics, linear models and related, and now go to regression diagnostics. Don't go to linear regression. You go to regression diagnostics. Statistics, linear models and related. Go to regression diagnostics. Regression diagnostics. Regression diagnostics. Hit enter. Regression diagnostics. Statistics, linear models and related. Regression diagnostics. Then you go to specification tests. Go to specification tests. Doing the specification tests. Hit enter. Shall I hit enter? Go to specification tests. Then you get a list of specification tests here. From here, choose VI, variance inflation factors. We listing the variation inflation factors here. Put a palette in Madhari variation inflation factors. Write down these things. Make a LDR. Right. And now I'm going to select that. I'm going to select that instance. I'm going to highlight it and I will press OK. Now you can see the VI factors are good. So VI factors 1.02, 1.02. For age and stress, the VI factor values are 1.02. Is it okay or not? It's okay because we were expecting these to be less than 10. Less than 10. So these even less than 5. Make a part of them. So please take down like this. Since the VI factors, please take down. Since the VI factors, please take down. Since the VI factors, since the VIF factors, various inflation factors, VIF factors, for age and stress, for age and stress, for age and stress, for age and stress are less than 10, are less than 10, are less than 10, are less than 10, it is concluded that there is no multiple linearity. There is no multiple linearity. There is no multiple linearity. Under this method 2, there is no multiple linearity. Under this method 2, under this method 2, there is no multiple linearity. So you can see under the both methods there is no multiple. Under the both methods there is no multiple. Under the correlation it was less than 0.8. Under VI factor analysis it was less than 10. So overall what you can say, this assumption is correct. So why not you take down? Therefore, underscore this assumption. Therefore, comma, overall, therefore, comma, overall, comma, it could be concluded that, therefore, comma, overall, comma, it could be concluded that there is no multicollinearity issue. There is no multicollinearity issue. There is no multicollinearity issue. Right. Okay. So we have now checked two assumptions. Again, is repeat telecast. Repeat telecasting. I already told you this. But I know you have studied very well. So that's why I told you again. So we check now two assumptions. What are two assumptions? Linearity and multiple linearity. Right? Then after the break, we check the next assumption. Right? Okay. So please come at now it's 9:56 at 10:50. Right? 10:20. 10:28. Today. Please come. The okay, please have a break and come back. And then we shall go till 11. From 10:20 to 11, we'll discuss another assumption. And at 11, we go to the exam hall and do the exam. Okay. Maybe today we'll take the attendance a little bit earlier. Abhi no attendance is there. Don't take any devices with you to the exam hall. It will be considered as malpractice and suspended you for a long period that you can use step into cell. Therefore, don't do anything that's going to make you put you in loss. Okay. So please have a break and come back. Sika, can you hear me? Fransika, है ना?
Yes, sir.
හරි. එහෙනම් පුතා දැන් අපි මම අර කිව්වා වගේ දැන් ඔයාලා ඔන්ලයින් රන්සික කොහේ ඉඳලාද මේ ජොයින් වෙන්නේ?
Yes, sir. Ada mengikuti pertemuan yaitu ini nanti video kelas ini.
කොහෙද ඉන්නේ පුතා?
Saya macam kata ada para puna ikin memang intelligent kan yaitu hiti nanti kelas ini dengan.
ඔව් වෙන්න එන්න පුතා. මොකද මේ මම බලන්නේ මොකද කරපු කට්ටියට විතරයි පුතා මට ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ලව් කරපු කට්ටිය බලනවා. ලව් කරපු කට්ටියට විතරයි පුතා අපි මේ ඔන්ලයින් ඇසස්මන්ට් එක කර මොකක් කරේ දෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. දැන් ඔයා විතරයි නේ ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් ඔයා පේන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයාත් ඇවිල්ලා නේ ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් ඔයා උඩට එන්නේ නැහැ.
Hai sir, mai.
හරි.